Baby, we are back. We are back. Listen, make sure you like this video as you are coming in. Make sure you like it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is up, y'all? It's your girl Brand New. And honey, I am back in the building. And this time, honey, I am back to talk about Miss Melody Cherie's live that she did, honey. I know it's a bit late. But see, what had happened was Melody ended up quitting the show, and honey, I didn't see that coming. I felt something in my spirit, but yeah, it just happened all so fast, and this was supposed to come before that. But honey, look, we are up in the building, honey, to talk about this because her live was very interesting. So Melody goes live and she clears up any confusion that took place between her and her castmates. Melody says it's disheartening that she has to clear up. Her team was wondering about her and how long was she going to keep quiet. Melody says that when she gets a questionable energy from the cast, she has to pull back. Melody says there have been a lot of narratives out there that she wasn't even asked about. And I believe she's referring to Carlos King. There has been defense of behaviors of decisions, but nobody asked her for proof that she could have easily provided. I think this all about the revenge P. But when they were on the reunion stage, people want to act shocked. Melody says Carlos should have asked her about the whole situation with the revenge piece. She did not say his name. She did not say any of her castmates' name, but we all know who she talking about, okay? She also mentioned that she's the victim of the situation. Melody says Carlos didn't ask because he didn't want to know. The truth wouldn't align with his agenda. I believe that. And like I said before, honey, it's just like down to Miss Bell Collective, honey. And, you know, Carlos did not respect So Gucci's peace bond between Selena. Y'all remember JJ's ex-wife. They were supposed to be separated from each other, but Carlos didn't care about that. He hired that lady on the spot and saw that big fan base that she had. And, you know, and I just feel like you have to have some type of decorum and ethics and integrity about your business if you want people to take you seriously. And to me, he's kind of acting sleazy, like a sleazy car salesman. Like, I don't know. You acting as if you don't know who you are. You're successful. You ain't got to play these games. Okay? You ain't got to have these type of tactics. You ain't got to be on this type of time. But behavior. Go get you a sweatshirt and stop playing. Reflects intentions. It reflects people's true intentions towards you. And remember what they say in the good book, honey. Okay? You will know them by their fruit. Do men gather thorn? I know y'all like, girl, you don't know your word. Okay, I ain't been to church in a while, but you get my drift. By their fruit you will recognize them. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? That's Matthew 7:16 through 20, honey. Okay? The phrase you will know them by their fruit comes from the Bible, specifically from the Gospel of Matthew 7:16 through 20. In this metaphor, Jesus teaches about discerning true followers from false prophets. A good tree produces good fruit, while a bad tree produces bad fruit, allowing us to recognize them by their actions. This is why people can't come around me acting as if they are friendly and then you're trying to get me in trouble. You're listening to my private moments, my private conversations, stalking people, following people, trying to bully people, trying to get people to move because they don't like you. Like, get out of here. That is of the devil. Those are evil people, evil spirits. So you stay away from those people. But the reason why these devils, they get away with the bad behavior, and you got to even look at it, you guys, even with the situation with Diddy, they have people helping them. And like I always say, if you are helping somebody to disrupt somebody's spirit, to disrupt and disrespect somebody's life, you are no better than them. I don't care about your title. I'm watching the shit that you do. Excuse my language. Okay, and messing with Miss Robinson, honey, and Miss Melody Cherie, there will be consequences and repercussions. How you doing? Can I get an amen? Can I get a boom shakalaka? Okay. A mess, but y'all get my drift. Oh, so the big thing about Melody's live is Melody brings up Marceau and the cast admitting to seeing the revenge P. We saw that at the reunion. They all admitted to seeing it, and that is tacky. That's disgusting. It's deplorable. And y'all was still hanging around this man. Ugh, I wouldn't want nothing to do with you. She says they in turn spent the whole year acting as if they didn't know why Mel and Martell have been separate while filming. Melody says she is not interested in interacting with people who on a daily is trying to destroy her. If it's not about the children, there's no conversation to be had. And y'all know when you are co-parenting with a narcissist, they don't really care about the children. They care about using the children to try to control you. Okay? Melody says she doesn't put on for the camera. Melody says very few people on the cast will have proximity to her again. She's the same no matter what she's doing. It fits the narrative that Mel is fake and phony and Mel is difficult. And, she was talking about that, how, especially Martell, he really put that out there that she's nobody's friend and she's gonna turn on you all. Now, all that chickadee he said about Melody, that's what happened with him. He done turned on Latifah and Marceau, and they now see him for his works, but they only choose to see him because this is how people operate, you guys. Same thing with Carlos. Y'all remember the stuff that Carlos was out here promoting Martell on all these different shows, Dish Nation. He on Real Housewives of Atlanta, he was promoting Martell until what? Martell crossed him. Martell affected the integrity of his job. He had a problem with Martell. He then had a problem and saw Martell for his work. So we got to look at that. And that says so much. She talked about reconciliation on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Melody doesn't think the production team and Carlos King wants the cast to have resolutions. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly with some of the scenes. It was weird to kind of watch them make up. And then all of a sudden, like that thing with Destiny, she was kissing Melody's ass in St. Thomas. She get her ass back to Huntsville. She's trying to throw Melody under the damn bus. It's like, make that make sense. It's like, and then the situation with production telling Melody to ask Maurice about his DUI and then the whole lipstick thing, that whole thing. And it's just like, child, like, do y'all want her to be cool with people on the show? No, y'all, because they pretty much kind of had a neutral relationship. It wasn't like Marceau and Latifah. It wasn't all that good, but because Melody recognized that Maurice is full of shit and so is Kimmy. But do you see what I'm saying? It was better than some of the other people. But yeah, it looked like they wanted to blow that up. They didn't want her to have no allies on the show. That's what it looked like to me. Because I've been telling y'all, Melody looks different this second half, right? She looks very different. Some of the stuff that played out. Melody said that she even allowed for certain people to be in her house, to film in her house. And she said that that was her way of trying to reconcile things. We know Kimmy was over at the house. She said Kimmy and her, they kicked it in her sunroom. They was eating. She made some rotel dip and, like all was well. And then I don't know. It's just like we saw that scene where on the show, like Kimmy kept trying to press Melody about why she said certain stuff. And that's what I was like, well, why ain't Melody explaining what she said? Because Melody just, she looked like she wanted to let it go. And Kimmy just wanted to keep pressing on. But then we find out that Kimmy, knew what production was doing. A mess. It was funny when she said she wanted to get back to the whole black excellence of it all, honey, for Love and Marriage Huntsville. She said, but it's too bad they don't know nothing about that. I was cracking up. That was funny. Melody shows a phone call that lasted 21 minutes, I told y'all, between her and Kimmy. She talked about the rooftop on Jefferson. That was the scene that her and Kimmy shot. Melody doesn't want to talk about the stuff they want them to talk about. Mel says Kimmy didn't want to talk about it. Y'all remember the whole thing with Maurice? So I was looking at that. I was like, yeah, Kimmy, if you agree that you didn't really want to talk about that and you knew where Melody was coming from, like, you shouldn't have been acting like that on the show. That was crazy. Melody called Kimmy after the scene wrapped. Melody says production had her ask those questions. Melody says she really don't care if he got lipstick on him or none of that. She also said that she called and checked on Kimmy when Maurice got the DUI. Kimmy responded to Melody and said she already knows. Melody agreed to never bring it up again. Her and Maurice, they made up on the show, right? They both apologized to each other. Pretty lighthearted moment, but honey, that ain't what happened on this here reunion. They was acting like Melody was coming at them, with a vendetta. And what it really looked like to me, what they wanted to accomplish at that reunion is to make it look like Melody is trying to break all these couples up. When in fact, these women are in burning houses. They just refuse to admit it. I mean, I'm just saying. Okay? So it's a mess. Oh, and Kimmy brought the bone to Melody about Trisha having a problem with her. Oh, and Melody accused the production team of a lack of due diligence. Okay. She also accused the production team of having a lack of integrity. They really didn't, clear certain things up. They were not operating from a place of clarity. It looked like they was operating from a place of confusion. And I told y'all, God is not the author of confusion. Carlos King is in this situation. Oh, and Melody also calls out Destiny for accusing her and Martell of trying to groom her, of accusing, Melody of like wanting her in a sexual way, all the while, she was married to LB. That's crazy. It's crazy. Melody says she wasn't even around Martell after 2020 unless they were filming. So when would she have time to tell Martell she wants a threesome with Destiny? And then we also got to keep in mind that Melody says that Destiny and Martell really aren't close like that. She didn't know nothing about no Destiny until Destiny popped up out the blue and, was moving back to Huntsville. Did she hear anything about Destiny? Martell won't talk about no Destiny like that. So, yeah. I think that Destiny is a leech. And I think she leeches on to people that can give her opportunities. And when she can't use you no more, she go to the next person. And she go to the next person. And then she go to the next person. Okay? That's what I feel. Melody says she met Destiny through LB. That's right. Martell and LB are the ones that was really like friends. So Melody knew of him, but not Destiny until, she got with LB and was moving to Huntsville. So yeah, it's a mess. Melody said, honey, she coming for the production team for them to put that as a title, as a synopsis for an episode. Yeah, I seen that. I synced it. Shout out to Moses. Melody said, honey, we could come for the puppets, but honey, I won't smoke with the puppeteer. And she talking about Mr. Carlos King. Carlos. Woo! Melody talks about her castmates and how they never stood up for what's right. Nobody ever had her back. Now everybody want to speak now because they are being attacked. And she don't want to hear it. And I don't blame her. Melody also talked about, Carlos King and how if you don't move in the way in which your superior wants you to move, they will retaliate. I have experienced that many a times in life. Anytime I stood on business and I stood for something, it will always get challenged. So I understand where Melody is coming from, and retaliation from an employer, that's a serious thing. So workplace retaliation, you guys, is very popular, but let's give a real definition. Okay, let's have a real conversation. Workplace retaliation is when an employer punishes or otherwise disciplines an employee for taking an action protected. Okay? Workplace retaliation occurs when an employer takes adverse action against an employee for engaging in legally protected activities. These activities may include reporting discrimination, harassment, safety violations, or other unlawful practices. Melody asks, fans of the show, do you feel like I have been attacked this season more than any other? Yeah, I would, yeah. This, like I said, this second half, you guys, because I was like, I like Melody, right? But the way in which they put her out here, it was looking crazy. I noticed it more this season more than any other, to be honest with you. And I'm pretty sure it's been happening, throughout the seasons. But what I'm saying is, just like Bell Collective, a lot of stuff, it gets more obvious after a while. Okay? It gets more obvious after a while. Especially with Melody having certain issues with Carlos King and with So Gucci and Aikisha, with them quitting the show and them just, being sick of the production team and, the production team making them look bad and not respecting their boundaries. It's a mess. What? Melody accuses Carlos King of allowing him to be her TV manager. What? Now, she didn't say his name, but we know who she talking about. Okay. Melody didn't accept the offer. Oh, okay. So she didn't accept the offer. All hell breaks loose at her workplace, child. It happens all the time. Ooh, she said it was a whole Zoom. Melody said that she held this in and still walked around with her head held high. Wow. You guys, I'm just like, whew. That's a lot. That is a lot. It makes sense though. Everything, it makes sense now. So I guess he wanted to be her manager and book her for things and get a percentage of it. So, yeah. Melody brings up Queen Sheba and closing the door silently. I can't even get the words out. Shout out to Queen Sheba. Because I know she did commentary on that. That's smart, though, to do stuff silently. But sometimes, honey, you can't be too quiet. You got to make a little noise. You raise your voice and people listen. Melody says she got sick of the continued disrespect, the disregard, and the lies, honey, the lies. And a lie don't care who tell it. Oh, and as far as Nell and Chris, she mentioned, she's in a season of her life where there is no shade of gray. It's only black and white. You either with me, or you're against me. And she felt like that was suspicious of what Chris Fletcher did, trying to introduce Martell to a new woman that happened to be Trisha. Okay? So, yeah, and if he was counseling them along with Mel being a mentor, you out of order. But Chris said, yeah, but I only did it because, he just wanted to see who was at the gym. And he didn't need a new woman in his life. He ain't gonna do shit but destroy their damn life the way he did Melody's. Okay, so a mess. So I don't know. I don't see how anybody can be friends with Martell. He just is of no good character. There's nothing good that comes from being around Martell, in my opinion. So, a mess. But that's what a lot of niggas do. Okay, they will hook your man up, or even if y'all separated, they don't care. Hell, they didn't care when they was together. Look at the Scotts. Okay? They didn't care when Melody and Martell was married. I remember when I was watching the season 1, Love and Marriage Huntsville, and Martell was out at that strip club. I was looking at his behavior, and he was not behaving like a married man. He was in full-blown narcissistic mode. That is what that nigga was on. Okay? A mess. Melody says she didn't ask questions about Martell because she cared. It was just, a matter of Chris, he was supposed to be a friend of hers. Yeah, I get it. I understand that. But like I said, they didn't make it look like that. So yeah, I would have an issue if I'm on a show and they making me look a certain way, knowing damn well shit is really another way. Like, it's a mess. And Melody also addresses Miss Nell. She said she never had Miss Nell leave anybody to come see about her. They would have barbecues. Yeah, they would have personal conversations. But, she wasn't her mentor, honey, all like that. So, I knew something was going to happen when the Fletchers got on the show. I predicted a lot of this. And then some of Nell's behavior, too. So, yeah. I kind of, predicted this. Okay, you guys, so let's see what some people think about this. One person says, I'm so happy Melody is calling all these people out. Another person says, Mel, you are an amazing woman. I totally admire your resilience, tenacity, honesty. Continue staying true to yourself. I love you, your children, and Unc, Mark, and of course, Miss Van. Better say my name. You are the queen, and don't you forget that. Absolutely. Another person says, Melody, your godly spirit irritates their demons. Another person says, Melody is the only one who has stood up for people time and time again. These people have done her wrong. Mel kept being strong because we know the truth, and God got you, sis. Another person says, Mel, why I hit the thumbs up before I even listened to what you had to say because I know it was going to be good. Miss Vanessa, I just love your daughter. That's right. You can sit back. I got her. We got her. The people love up some Melody, honey. Yeah, Melody aired their ass out. She really, gave a lot of perspective as to, you know, what was going on behind the scenes with Carlos King and the production crew and the Scotts and Martell, Hookheaded Hoe and Destiny Child. It is a mess. Another person says, Kimmy did this rah-rah to save her job. Mel, it doesn't matter where you go or what you do. We got you. I'm so grateful to God for you professionally removing yourself from the trash of a show. Mellometers for life. Black excellence is you. So, yeah. The whole cast has been jealous of you and Martell. And not only that, allegedly, it was a plan to take you and Martell down the whole time. And they've been strategic in trying to be the stars of the show. The cast and all their lies. PPP loans and foreclosures and bankruptcy. They could never be you, Mel. Oh, child. But yeah, she aired their ass out. What y'all think about all of this? What y'all think about this? Get in the comments. Let me know how you feel about all this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.